Feliz Christmas, Merry Navidad. Hey everyone, this is part 3 out of 3 with Lasse from It's a 90s Christmas podcast. Enjoy. I like cold Christmases. I love Christmases in Puerto Rico because they're tropical, they're warm. You could wear, short sleeve.
Oh yeah, that's
But for me to
something.
get into Christmas feels, you have to be cold.
Yeah, exactly. That's something I can't get used to. Warm Christmases, and that's the problem because even in Germany, like some Christmas, like because of climate change and all of that, we had one. Yeah, I think it was actually one Christmas where we walked home from church, as we always do on Christmas Eve. Or just that day we actually walked home, and it was so mild, like it was so not cold that we totally didn't feel like Christmas. And I mean, the days of snowy Christmas in certain parts of Germany, that's just gone. Like you can hope. We have lost all hope for that, but still, like there were certain years when you had a white Christmas, and that's especially magic. But it has to be cold. It just has to be, even if it's like a nasty freezing cold or something. It just has to be, or else I don't feel Christmassy, and that's the reason why in that Southern Californian city I just didn't feel all that Christmassy, even though we tried so hard. And I think, and I think for those people when we're not used to anything else, but I mean, I saw like palm trees and the people just like wearing shorts and all of that, and I'm like, this is something doesn't feel right here.
Yeah, it's like that part in Home Alone. And remember, this was from, I think it was 92's Home Alone 2, when he says, why do we have to go to Florida for Christmas? There's no Christmas trees in Florida.
Yeah,
And his mom's like, well, we decorate a palm tree.
yeah, exactly. Why do we all?
Well,
Yeah,
I spent Christmases in Florida, and there was a Christmas day that we were actually in Hollywood Beach. It's a down South Florida. There's by Fort Lauderdale. There's a city called Hollywood,
Mm.
and we were playing volleyball, beach volleyball, and going in the water on Christmas Day. It's how warm it was, and it's a good experience, I guess, because you can say you do that on Christmas. But I'm more of a cold Christmas type, and I've never had a white Christmas because over here when it snows, at least in the places that I've been in, for example, in New York, I was there for 2 weeks, not a single snowflake. It snowed here in Georgia in February,
yeah.
and it was a nice white snow in the morning, and by 6 o'clock in the afternoon, it was all gone. I built a 6-inch snowman.
Oh yeah. I went to Malibu Pier a few days before my flight back home went, and I think there were also Christmas decorations there, which was kind of funny. I remember one Christmas, I might have been like 6, 7, or 8. I don't quite remember. Between 8 and 10, maybe. And we were at my grandfather's place in Fichtelberg, which is a lovely little town in Bavaria, which is in the south of Germany, and it is very, very, very like mountains and forests and all of that, and it gets very, very cold there in the winter. And that, I mean, and we had Christmas there, and even better, on the day of Christmas, we actually went skiing, which I never did before. And it was really awesome being out there skiing and knowing today is also Christmas. This is Christmas Eve and all of it. And I was like, it was so surreal, but it was also, I think that might have been one of the Christmassy Christmases I've ever had, because it was snow. It was this old small town, and like everything like very, very churchy too. And just the family was there, and it was a cozy small house. It was cold outside. There was snow, like everything. That might have been the Christmassiest Christmas. One of them, at least, I had.
I'm going to tell you something about what you just said, and I'm kind of getting chills. I kid you not, getting chills. I'm over here smiling like a little baby, just hearing you. I mean, like that's something that I want. I want to have something like that. I want to see snow, but skiing on Christmas, and and you're in a remote town, like a town away, like a small town, really really cold town on Christmas. That sounds like the perfect Christmas. I don't care what comes in a gift wrap right there. Just snow, ski, family.
Oh yeah, and we also had awesome gifts
I got
that year.
goosebumps.
Yeah, especially there were some awesome gifts, which were also great because me and my brothers, like when I only had two brothers, the third one arrived much later. We all slept in one room, and we got a bunch of audiobooks for Christmas, and so we listened to them while we were falling asleep together, which was also really cool every evening.
Ooh, that's so nice. I mean, you're in the actual Germany. Like for example, where I live over here, there's a small town called Helen, Georgia,
Yeah.
and it's German like.
Ah,
The
okay.
structure's based on what I've seen, and it's beautiful because even when it's the summer, when we drove by the summer, and last year we went in the summer, the structures still do look Christmassy. Like it feels so cozy. And then last year we went when they were just getting started to decorate. It was a bunch of decorations, and like I said, it's a small town. German looking town. It was I think it was found it's I think it was founded by Germans. Mostly everything it's German design, old school. I don't know because I've never been to Germany, but just the feels.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine going to an actual Germany, seeing snow in Christmas.
It still happens. It still happens here and there. Sometimes that actually comes true in certain parts. Not everywhere, but sometimes it happens, which is really, really cool. But I haven't seen it in years. Maybe in a couple of years we will again. So yeah.
Because I mean, growing up, you see all these movies, like for example, these New York movies, these United States movies, that is snows on Christmas, and I don't think I've heard anybody that lives in any of these cities that I've lived in or my family about talking about a white Christmas. Because when I was little, before this whole climate change started and everything, and I was in New York for Christmas and it did not snow. And this year, like 2 weeks before, there had some flakes in New York, and my dad's like, "Well, maybe you're gonna get lucky and get to see snow for Christmas." And nope, I saw a lot of people for Christmas, but I didn't see snow.
Yeah. It's not I saw one review where somebody said that like, I think it was like with Bridget Jones, and they had snows in London, and the reviewer was like, that's a bunch of bollocks. It doesn't there's no snow in London during Christmas. Oh, that romanticized thing. But it reminds me of one thing Patton Oswalt said in one of his stand-ups about LA during Christmas, which was really, really funny. He said, LA is great during Christmas. You know why? Everybody leaves. It's just like the whole city is empty. It's like I Am Legend, but you can get a sandwich. It's awesome.
You know where they go? They go to New York.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I think Chicago might also be pretty good during Christmas. I think in Chicago there might be snow during Christmas, at least in the Chicago area.
Oh, Chicago's really, really cold. I've been there. Hey, I've been there in the summer, and it's 60-something degrees.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Apart. So I mean, it's kind of, and it's not chilly. I mean, I could get used to, but for me, that's good. I could wear shorts and still not sweat. But I've also been there in the winter, and the first time I remember my stepdad said, he's like, button up your coat and zip it up because it's gonna get cold. And I was like, I don't get cold that easily. As soon as I walked out the airport door, I felt like I got hit in the face with a block of ice. I just ran back inside. I covered my face. I put gloves because it was that cold.
Yeah, I went to Chicago during Halloween. I was there during Halloween in 2018, and yeah, there already was pretty cold on certain days. My first impression of Chicago was.
But you're from Germany, so it's not that cold. So
my first impression of Chicago was great. I arrived there per train. When I got off the train, went down to the walkway. And the first thing I see when I set my foot on the walkway is a rat just right beside my foot and running away.
Well, that's somebody's food or some cat's food right there, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a great time there. I really enjoyed being there, but it's funny with certain things you can see. But yeah, I never was in New York during Christmas time, but I was also in New York in 2018, and I think it was during like March or April, and they had this huge surprise blizzard basically, and then from one day to the other, we were just snowed in completely. And the day before, my mother actually went on like this panic shopping spree, like everybody else. It was like, I don't know. It was like during the first days of a pandemic, or maybe like a pre-apocalypse or something, where just everybody bought tons of stuff. But then it wasn't really that bad. We still could get everything. But my mother kind of had a panic because the weathermen in America, they tend to over dramatize things, and so it was.
That's how we lost all the toilet paper. From
oh yeah, and so it was really great being in New York, and it's just huge mountains of snow, and being in Central Park, even if it's not Christmassy, it was really great being in New York and everywhere snow. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've been in New York with snow, but exactly not in Christmas time. When I used to go visit my dad, and yeah, it does look really pretty, but I've never seen snow in Christmas, and that's something I'm looking forward to. Well, I could convince people to decorate for Christmas. I cannot convince the weather to snow it on Christmas. You know the funny thing? When I was 7 or 8 years old, it snowed on Halloween. I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and like, what was that, 92, 93? Oh. It snowed on Halloween Day. So we were wearing our coats on top of our costumes, and we just went to one of my stepdad's friend's house to trick or treat because it was just that cold. And we were dressed up as pirates.
Yeah. Oh.
So that the pirates, like Puerto Rico type pirates, they don't wear that much clothing because it's hot. So, yep, we had our coats on, so we just had to like take all that off, trick or treat, and then put it back on again. That was Halloween for us.
You should have changed the concept slightly and went as Vikings. Still pirates, but they had more clothes on.
Yeah, I could have put the ripped pants on top of the jeans, right? Yep. Ooh. But come on, man, I didn't know you back then. See, now I have this idea. Now I actually need a time machine to go and fix it.
Yeah, but maybe you would,
because the story could be.
You better. Would need different types of costumes. I mean, pirates are much more well known than Vikings were. But remember when you go back in time, and if you want to show off to your friends, don't pick a hornet helmet. Vikings didn't wear hornet helmets.
I'll take you on that time because you're more knowledgeable. Well, you're completely knowledgeable compared to me in that area. So I'm like, Lasse, let's get in this time machine and let's go fix some things from the past.
Yeah, because that's exactly what the time machine should be used for, with really important stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's historic events. I don't know. I've seen kind of a bunch of movies that, you change that and the whole world, somehow it figures a way to mess up in the other part.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'll use a time machine to change Halloween's costumes better.
Yeah, yeah. If you maybe like change small little things that wouldn't turn everything to pieces later on. What I would do with a time machine is go to certain movie premieres and watch the reactions of the audience. I would especially go to the premieres of Psycho and The Exorcist to see everybody be terrified. That would be so amazing.
Yeah, there goes a Christmas episode, Psycho and the Exorcist.
But also, like, maybe like watching the reactions to Home Alone would be great, because that was such a huge hit, and people really caught onto it. And I think I would like to be there with a crowd, seeing it for the first time and laughing, because it's a.
Okay, so you were born in 92.
Yeah, 92.
I think that's when Home Alone 2
Yeah, so...
Which one did you see first? Home Alone 2 or Home Alone
1? Oh, no, Home Alone 1. Home Alone 2 I didn't see until a couple of years ago for the first time. But Home Alone I saw when I was a kid, yeah.
Ooh. I saw Home Alone 2 first a bunch of times before I found out there was actually a Home Alone 1.
I mean, it's kind of like... It's kind of like the same movie, but they amp up the crazy stuff so much that it kind of makes it worth it again.
Yep. I mean, yeah, it's exactly like they had a bigger budget. Macaulay Culkin was a bigger star. It was little. I mean, I was jealous of him.
I think by the time, and we will still do that episode, I think, and I might drop the reference there again. But I think by the time he did Home Alone 2. I think he earned for Home Alone 2. He earned more money than Chris Evans, Jeremy Renner, and Mark Ruffalo for the Avengers combined. Yes.
Wow. I think he still has some of that money laying around.
Might be, yeah. I mean, I'm glad he's fine again now. I mean, makes all these guest appearances on internet shows. Seems to be like he seems to be all healthy again and all of that. And just fine and happy. I really enjoy that he has come down from the bad streak he was.
From that bad streak.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we said it at the same time.
Great minds think alike.
Yep, and this is not scripted because that's one of the things. I mean, look at that. We're at 70 minutes already. Awesome.
Just talking about random stuff. Yeah. That's also something
Random stuff. It starts with Christmas. We go off to Psycho and The Exorcist. And let's rush it to Home Alone. You know what I like seeing Macaulay Culkin's tweets and stuff? That he's still acknowledging the Home Alone movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they made his career, basically.
Yep. Did you see was it an ad or a short, like the comedy short of him playing Kevin as a grown-up?
I think I've seen that, yeah. When it's kind of like more realistic or something.
Yes, but he's actually a grown-up. I mean, I know I'm not the only one because I've read and I've heard other people say it, but it would be so awesome. I mean, not in a cruel way for them to revisit the original Home Alone movies because now they're remaking them and it's not really my cup of tea. I mean, the third Home Alone movie, I enjoyed it as long as I didn't see it as a Home Alone movie. But if it could revisit with the original cast, I mean, unfortunately, the dad is no longer with us, but with the original cast, revisit something. It does. I mean, they don't have to do all those, the traps and all the kid violence, but somehow bring the nostalgia back from those movies because most of the actors I know they might be up for it. I mean, that's a nice payday right there.
I don't know. Maybe they could do it like for a TV sketch anytime soon. Might be the case. But I mean, yeah, it's as long as like one of them isn't alive anymore. I think they kind of don't do that just to not make anybody sad for the reason that one of these people is gone and can't be there for this kind of reunion. So
yep, it's like the Fresh Prince. Uncle Phil's not here anymore. And that's they had some pretty good Christmas stuff on there too.
Oh yeah, certainly. But yeah, I think that's one of those reasons. I'm kind of tapped out now. I don't really know what else to say. But
I mean, it's been 72 minutes and 56 seconds, so we've said pretty much everything. I'm not going to apologize. I know this makes for a great commute because me, for example, I start the podcast and I have them on the whole day while I'm on the road. And nowadays for me, a 20-minute episode lasts about a day and a half because my work phone rings so much. But I mean, Lasse, it's been awesome just revisiting, just coming all over, from the 90s to now and going back and back and forth. And like you said, this year you're gonna help with the tree and and your family.
When we actually get together,
And this is something that I wish everybody could, going back to the whole Christmas. Let's close out the episode with Christmas. We could all do that, just a little bit, our little grain of sand, just throw it in there and just spread the Christmas cheer. I mean, it's a beautiful world. There's, like you said, there's a lot of babies coming up soon. And it would be great that they experience magical Christmases. All right, we're not going to get the toy stores back, at least not for now. We're not going to be able to do what we saw in movies, what we did as kids. Some things, we could pass along. Like, for example, your role playing. Oh my gosh, I wish I was into that earlier. When I have kids, we could have our own medieval times back here. But that's not. For me, that's not. So I'm just gonna go, stick to baking cookies and gingerbread houses, and I have, over here the pumpkin spice lattes. I have one every day now. So I'm gonna have to stop that for a few months, because if not, I'm gonna turn into an actual Santa Claus looking person. It's a lot of calories in each one of them, but going on off subject, just to spread Christmas. Let's everybody could do something just to bring back the Christmas magic. It doesn't have to be like, for example, I went to toy stores, but me, it's something that it felt magical as a kid, just walking by the aisles and seeing, what you wanted. But the lights, the people coming together, I want to walk around my neighborhood, and I mentioned this to my wife again today, that I want to go make friends with my neighbors so we could all decorate, put lights all over, so we could just, instead of walking through the day that you see everybody, we could also, like, through the whole winter, just walk, at night and see all the different decorations.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm looking forward
to.
That
would be great. Like, I always am very, very sad when I see these kind of like neighborly relationships in Christmas movies. I wish I had that.
Well, I haven't been in a place long enough to make friends, with the neighbors to get together.
Yeah,
like
that actually might be in the place where my parents moved to now. That actually might come true over time. That actually might be a possibility that they will be able to do that. So I really hope so, and then I can visit them every year and join in on the fun.
Yep. And that's what I wish I could do that here. I'm gonna go for it. If you see, I could talk a lot, but to approach the people that live close to me, I find that it's still a little hard to do. I'm kind of shy in that sense, and well, I mean, if I want something done, I might as well go do it over there. A few weeks back, when Tom invited us to that video chat, I told him I wish, because I've gone over and over the whole thing. I want more Santa Claus in movies. I don't like that kissy relationship. Oh, I fell in love with a great prince or whatever. I don't like that for Christmas. I like Santa Claus. I like magic. I like reindeer. And I told Tom and Jerry, that if nobody came up with that, I might as well have to write the script myself and start distributing it. So I don't know. Like I'm a Christmas freak, and if I go into that, then we're gonna have instead of an episode, we're gonna have a mini series. So.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I still I still find myself even nowadays in these dark times of our world, going back to certain Christmas movies, even though it's not Christmas yet. And I mean, I'm kind of supposed to do that because I'm the host of 90s Christmas podcast, the co-host, and we celebrate Christmas all year round. So yeah, not really a crime on my end, but yeah, I find myself going back to certain things and reminisce of certain times where it was much easier and simpler.
We could create something like that now. I mean, I'm right here. I had the podcast network chat open, and there's so many channels and so many people there that I know that, and we're in different parts of the world. So we could somehow start spreading that, because it's not a crime. It doesn't go against anybody's religion, because while you might believe in certain aspects of Christmas, other people believe in other aspects of Christmas or the way they celebrate the winter holidays. And it's just the cheer, the whole. We could do something. We could make something happen. We still have time. And the good thing about it is, whatever we don't do this year, we could do next year, and we could make it better and better and better.
Yeah, I mean, some people believe in Christmas, others believe in Garbage Day.
Isn't that the 26th with all the crap in front of their house?
What? Oh no!
Like all the.
Oh yeah, I've seen certain sketches about that too. Oh geez, yeah, but
I'm gonna take a picture this year.
Oh, I have to look out for that. But I mean, we all like collect the paper and all of it in like a big basket, and then we kind of get rid of it. But I'm not quite sure how. I might have to pay attention to that next time. But yeah, I mean, yes, nowadays in these times, please, take care of yourself. Dear listeners, don't spread any viruses. Spread kindness, spread happiness. You will still be able to do that in one way or the other, and in that way, you will be able to spread, a little Christmas here and there. And that's something we all need desperately this year, even more than any other year, I believe.
Even if we can't hug people, or we shouldn't hug people nowadays, there's always a thing called a smile.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, but you can't see that because of the face mask.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to start smiling better with my
Yeah,
eyes.
absolutely. Or maybe like from a distance. I mean, in the when you are outside, just walking around, you can you might not wear your mask. You don't have to when you're not inside somewhere. So there you can just smile all the more. And yeah, smile more with your eyes and all of that. I really miss that. Like people behind the counter and all of that can't really see that I smile. So I make sure that I sound extra nice. And I think they appreciate it.
Yeah, so a lot of smiling and waving. Like nice waving, not like Mr. Bean.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Man, that's smart. Ooh, I got up to that one too. All right, so I mean we're in 81 minutes here, and well we have to wrap this up. And last what I'm gonna do with this is you're not just gonna be in one episode. You're gonna be in a few episodes, and people are just gonna find it because I'm not gonna edit this part out. People are gonna find out this was a very, very long conversation, but I'm gonna cut it up and put it into different episodes. So we could, yeah, I'm just gonna be random. I mean, there's so many Christmas podcasts that I know most of these conversations have been said there. Like, for example, some of the things I mentioned in my podcast, my second episode yesterday, I heard it in one of Jerry's, like the next to last episode when he's with Tom on it, and it's about the Toys R Us books and stuff. And I hadn't even caught up to that part, and then I hear it today. I'm like, ooh, Jerry's gonna think I ripped him off, but no, I mean, it's a lot of it's a lot of Christmas things that we lived through that we're not gonna ever see again. And I'll be more than stubborn saying that we could get that back. No, we could actually make new ones. But we have to keep going. I mean, not let the corporations, the commercialization of stuff take over what the actual holiday feelings are.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to finding myself wherever I might end up in, even in the interview you're doing with, like, I don't know, Playmates or something.
I'm gonna tell you something, and this I'm gonna cut from here and paste it all over, and probably share it around. I'm a Christmas person. I'm in love with Christmas, but just like I said at the beginning of this episode, when I heard your podcast, and I'm about to listen to it again, just because it transports me. There's something in it, and that's, I mean, I've been like a year, like asking for more, like it teleports me to that point in time when that actually happened. And by hearing the commercials, like the M&M commercials, I picture myself when I was that age, what was going on around there. It brought me so many happy memories and so many Christmas feels. And this is me talking to you. And like I said, I don't want anybody before you on my podcast, just because I found out Christmas podcast existed through you and Lyle. And the feels that you get when you're paying attention to it, like, it's priceless. And I do want to thank you for uploading that, because through all of us, all the stuff that we're putting in, into the internet, somebody's always going to click with something. And I clicked with your messages, like with you and Lyle, like it took me back. And I am very, very, very thankful, because some of the aspects I did forget about Christmas, even if you go back and you listen to the audios that you upload to it and everything, you like, it'll take you to a place in time. And I mean, obviously you got it from there. You can find a bunch of this stuff on the internet, but it's not the same thing as looking it up on YouTube, than listening to you and Lyle and listening to these podcasts and getting the feels. And I'm more than happy to be able to interact with all of you guys every day. And like our underground world, our cult. So I'm very thankful, and I do want to thank you for sharing your half a day with me, because we've been going on way, way long. And I want to thank you for having those episodes there. And even when time and scheduling conflicts happen that you can't upload new episodes, you're always active. You always reply. And, being able to talk to you, I'm freaking excited. It's like I'm talking to Tim Allen, the Santa
Jesus.
Claus. It's because it's how it feels, because it teleports me to that area. So, blah, 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 blah. I kept going, but I want to thank you, Lasse, and I want to thank Lyle for coming up with that. And, hopefully between now and Christmas, we could have Lyle here. I know with his time, with his scheduling, we're only going to have him like 5-10 minutes, because I don't think he's going to be 90 minutes talking to us. So.
Who knows? We have recorded certain episodes right behind each other. But let me tell you, first of all, you're very welcome. And second of all, thank you so much for the kind words. Like, this kind of feedback, we really appreciate. We always kind of hope that we tickle these feelings within certain people, but actually hearing that we succeed from somebody who is so passionate about Christmas as you are, that really means a lot. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, thank you for having me on here. I'm sure Lyle would be thankful too, but like I said, he sadly can't be here, but he says his greetings, I'm sure, from the heart. And he will be thankful because I'm able to plug our podcast here, which hopefully gets us some new listeners who maybe feel the same way as you.
The feeling is here, and like you did it like at the beginning, just plug your podcast. Where can we?
Well, it's a 90s Christmas podcast is the name of our show. It's hosted by me, Lasse Vogt, and Lyle Perez, who came up with the whole and also edits it. And he also has the Halloween podcast with a new episode. We're also on those for a few episodes. You can find it on podomatic.com and also on iTunes, and I'm sure a lot of other places, but those are the most important ones. You can find us on Facebook, of course, 90s Christmas Pod. If you want to contact us, you can find us there. Send us suggestions of episodes you want to see on the show, and we will be back with you very, very soon. I'm always active there, and usually the first person who answers. I have an own podcast called Fans About Films. You can find it on SoundCloud and iTunes. One of my most recent episodes was I interviewed the composers of a Netflix show, The Witcher, which was a really fun time. And there will be more episodes coming in the near future, I think. And I'm also on Facebook and Twitter at Lasse Vogt. So yeah, maybe hit me up there, say hello. I will be very, very glad. And I am somewhere else on the internet, but these are the most important ones. I hope you enjoy our stuff. Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time, not really knowing what we were going to talk about. It was great just, shooting the SHIT. Just totally random. I love these kinds of conversations. I sometimes do these too on my own podcast. Just talking totally random with the guests, and it was great. It was really great to be able to do it as a guest on your wonderful show. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to more.
All right, Lasse, thank you so much, and I do appreciate it. And well, we'll be talking every day with everybody. All these Christmas people.
Absolutely.
But like I told you, I'm not gonna edit this. I'm just gonna cut it up. We're gonna have we're gonna have Lasse for quite a few episodes. I will be mixing it in by the time you hear this part. You probably already figured out what I did with all the episodes. So Lasse, I do thank you, and well, it's these. Why do I keep saying December? I'm so obsessed. It's September 6th, but. Feliz Christmas, Merry Navidad.
Goodbye and Merry Christmas from me and Lyle and everyone else who cares about Christmas as much as we do. Goodbye and good night.
In German.
Oh, shall I say it in German?
Yes.
Okay. Also auch von mir, ich wünsche euch fröhliche Weihnachten und gute Nacht.
The bilingual, multilingual Christmas podcast. There you go.
You do realize that I could have just said the filthiest stuff right now, right?
Yep, and I'm so glad I don't know it. It felt cheerful, so.
You can make anything sound cheerful, believe me. But don't worry, I only said the nicest things.
No, I'm hesitant. I'm still gonna leave it there to see.
I wouldn't do that to you.
All right, guys. You have a very, very Merry Christmas in the Burmans.
Goodbye. Ding, ding.
And cut.
And stop. Amazing.
All right.
Let me see.
All right. Hopefully, when I press this button, Lasse, this doesn't erase because I will cry like a baby.
Don't worry. I'm saving my own thing too. It would be great if you in the personal chat on Discord give me your mail, and you will get the file in the next couple of hours.
There you go.
Okay, gonna send it as MP3. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna look it up later and send it to you as soon as possible.
Right.
Might take a few minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go out now and cut my lawn. I'm gonna be the noisy neighbor.
Nice. I mean, for me, it's Jesus Christ. It's almost 9 p.m. for me now.
It's almost 3 here, so
wow.
The sun's going down a little bit, just enough to mow the lawn.
How time flies. Jeez, and I have to work tomorrow. Yep. But I mean,
so I'll leave it.
I'm not going to bed anytime soon. Just so much stuff. I think I'm not gonna be able to record my Mulan review today. Just don't feel like it.
Don't tell me anything about Mulan. I haven't seen it.
Okay. I won't. Don't worry.
All right, let me cut here. Let me try and save.
Can I at least say if I liked it or not?
Oh yeah, if you liked it, that's even better.
I liked it. Let me tell you that.
Okay.
I liked it.
No, I'll watch it later on. I had scheduling conflicts with my wife. She's working and I'm off.
Yeah.
So the very little time that we have, we spend it cooking and talking. So.
Yeah.
All right, let me let this go. Thank you, Lasse.
Yeah, thank you so much again. I'm gonna come back to you with like message, like send it to you, blah blah blah, and you will get the file. And then I'm looking forward to discovering where I can hear myself.
Cool. Just look at that. My FCMN podcast. You can look for it anywhere.
Oh yeah.
And it also shows up in Spotify, not in iTunes yet. I'm not that important.
Yeah, like I said, I will see when you are up on iTunes, so maybe you will just write me a message as soon as that is also ready. But yeah, thanks so much again for coming to us and having me. I had a great time, and we will see each other in the chat.
Hello again, everyone. Don't forget, if you want to keep in touch with us and keep up with everything that's going on Feliz Christmas, Merry Navidad podcast, you can find us all over social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at FCMN Podcast. FCMN Podcast. Feliz Christmas, Merry Navidad.